Hi, everyone. This is Mark Cunningham with the Beacon Center. And as many of you know, this is our 20th anniversary. So we have been an organization for 20 years. And one of the things that we want to do here is talk with, some of our heroes over the years. And today I have a really special hero. One of my favorite heroes, probably her and her sister Tammy are my favorite people. But we have Debra Nutall with us, and Debra was somebody who worked with us a lot. She's, one of the honestly the godmothers of, hair braiding and has done a lot of incredible things, wrote a book about it, talked about techniques. But she's somebody who we helped her and her sister Tammy when it came to, making sure that the laws made sense for shampooing and for hair braiding in the state. So Debra, thank you so much for joining us. I haven't seen you for a couple of months, but it's great to see you.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Mark.
Of course. So talk to us first. So you've been really busy since, you worked with us. You've been doing a lot of things. You're, a real entrepreneur. So talk to us about some of the things that you have been up to recently. And I also want to hear about, some of the struggles. I know that it's been, me and you have talked, I know it's hard to work through some of the red tape of government while starting a business. So tell us what you've been up to right now and what you're doing.
Well, I've been up to getting my book published, which is not ready just yet. Hopefully it'll be ready by April. But I also have a product that is out. It is a curl solution, and it is used for all types of hair. All types of people can wear it, whether you wear straight hair, 4C hair, locks, twists, braids. And the product, what it does is a detangler. It detangles the hair. It keeps the hair smooth. Um, and it's basically not just for African American, but all types of people.
And it works for men
It
too, right?
gives,
It's men and women, right?
yeah, for
Yeah.
men as well. It's basically people that are tender-headed, that don't really like to comb their hair. It smooths it. It gives it a smooth texture. It helps to thicken up the hair as well.
Now I want to talk about your process too, because it took you, I mean, I know we talked about it, but it was a long process to, everything you had to work through, right? You had to kind of create the product, you had to a patent on it, right? And then you had to get the bottles
Yes.
made. So tell me about that process and how hard it was.
Well, the process is a long process. I actually had to find a chemist to make up the product in the formulation that I was using it to curl synthetic hair. That's where it started out at first. So after getting a chemist, I had to actually find an attorney to get it trademarked and patent office. And so now it is registered, it's certified. And so I had to get my GS1 numbers and barcodes and prefixes and all of that done. And so after getting it made up, I had to find also a company that will formulate it, put it together. And so I went through two well, this is my third, almost three formulation companies to get it formulated the right way, the way that I wanted it. And it was a struggle, but I mean, it's worth it. It's a great product. It works well on the hair. Like I say, it detangles it, especially if you want to just get up in the morning, comb through and go. It dries really, really fast on the hair, and it keeps that hair soft and moisturized with a shine.
So let me ask you, I want to talk to you more about being an entrepreneur later, but before we stop talking about this, where can people get your product? Because they, if somebody says I want to get your product, where is the place for them to buy it? I know it's mostly in Memphis right now, right?
Right. It's in the local stores in Memphis, which is called C&P Beauty Supply. All four locations. They have a Shelby Drive, a Lamar, Elvis Presley, and Hickory Hill locations. It's in all of their stores, and it's been in there since October.
And what is it? And what is
Uh,
the name of it? What is it called?
it's Dinu Tall's Curl Solution. It is formulate formulation formula, and it's this is the bottom right here. Yeah.
There you go. So it's D Nutall's curling solution. So it's at CMP right now. But if you own a business, Debra works really hard, and she's happy. Like anybody else, you would love to get into more stores, right?
Yes, I would. Oh, yes. That's where I'm working on trying to get it in other locations outside of Memphis. And you also can order offline. You can order from Lee's Handbags. She has a store. That's my daughter in Memphis. Is featured in her store. And you also can go online at www.deenutall.com. And it's on there as well on the
Awesome.
website.
Awesome. Dnutall.com. And if anybody, how can, if somebody wants to reach out to you and ask you any questions about it, what's the best way to do it? Is that your website?
Website or either my phone number. I have two numbers. It's 901-949-6128. And the number that's on the bottle is 662-298-6925. They can locate me at any one of those numbers anytime.
Well, there's a real business owner. She's giving out a personal phone number if you have any questions. So that's awesome. So well, we wish you the best of success with that and your book. But, before we go, I want to talk to you. I mean, I know that, you're very entrepreneurial. You've always been somebody, you've never kind of let all these government restrictions stand in your way. You've always figured out a way to get something done. I want to just kind of hear from you, how did you get that drive to be such an entrepreneur and to start your own business? I mean, because that's something that a lot of people, there's a lot of red tape to go through. So I want to hear about your story and how that became something that you cared about.
Well, it was a passion. It's almost like I just woke up and inside of me a voice was unctioned me to do this, especially braiding, because when I started braiding, there were no braid salons in Tennessee. And I think the only braid salon was Washington, D.C., Mr. Taladine Okdog, that kind of helped me spearhead the fight. Cornrow and Company that won the lawsuit in D.C., and then there was Kimmy Kinks out of New York. And so I had no patterns to go after, but I knew that this was a passion. And so I started reaching out to the Board of Cosmetology, which instructed me to go to cosmetology school. And it was like a fight and still a struggle, because then they wanted to take over the industry as it begins to grow. And people began to get their hair braided through the styles that we were creating. And so then I end up meeting, oh God, the love of my life, the Beacon Center, Mark and you all, and Mr. Braden. And I mean, that was the change right there, because I had given up. I moved to Mississippi, which is Melody Armstrong. They got the bill passed there. And Melody reached out to me at the time, and I'm the one told her about the Institute for Justice, because Hereford Senior, one of the, he was Congress at the time, that took my article to Washington, D.C., and that's how they reached out to me. And so then you all teamed up years later and this bill passed. So, I mean, it was the greatest thing that could have happened.
But I mean, you had such a drive that even when you felt like giving up, you still didn't give up. And just so people understand that, Debra is one of the, the foremost braiders in the country. And she was great at this. She's done it for her whole life. And the state told her that she had to go to cosmetology school, which cost a lot of money, right? That was like, what, $10,000 or something?
Yeah. It was about 10 at that time. I think it's even more now.
It's more now. But she already knew how to do it. And they said, you have to go to the school, even though you were better than the people trying to teach you.
Right. And I was asking them about braiding and the techniques and things like that. And they were like, no. And Congressman Cohen's kind of stepped in and helped me out a little while. And so it was Roscoe Dixon and so Henry Brooks, because she drove us, probably multiple Nashville, trying to get this bill passed, and no one could ever get it done. I think Congressman Cohen got it passed in Senate, but it didn't pass in the House, and it left us still hanging. But like I say, the Beacon Center was the winner, was the trump card for it all, because they hung in there with me. They gave me hope along the way, and so it was done. It was done.
Well, we were very
lucky.
It was a
fight.
Yep. We were very lucky to work with you because, you were so motivated, and, a lot of people would have just said, forget it. It's too hard. And you did not. So
I couldn't.
Well, no,
I couldn't give up.
Your personality. That's right. So, we appreciate talking to you, Debra. Again, I want to ask one more time. If somebody wants somebody wants to get your product, where can they get it at? One more time for everybody. They get it at dnutall.com, right?
Yeah, Dnutall,
And, and
www.dnutall.com.
spell that DEENUTALL, right?
.com,
.com.
exactly. Yes. And the other one is that all of the C&P locations, C&P Beauty Supply, they have them there, waiting, ready, and it's selling pretty good. It's selling pretty good.
Well, we need to make it sell even better. She's great.
Yes,
Deborah's a pioneer in this space. She's incredible, and we look forward to talking to you again. I know that your book is coming out, so we can't wait for that. And you know, it's been a real pleasure to work with you. And let's get this product. Let's get these people need to buy this off the shelf. It's a great product, and you know, Deborah
yes, it is.
honestly one of the best that there is, probably in the whole world. So it's a pleasure to talk to you again, Deborah. We love you, and
Love
we
you
appreciate
too.
everything you've done with us.
Okay, and thank you, Mark. Thank you, Taylor, and thank you, Beacon Center.